Hey Clashers, there is a new set of event troops now in the game, and they're going to last until the 1st of September. This time around though, you can build armies around them, you can cook them up on your own, and this is what we're going to take a look at all of those top strategies for every single of those event troops. First things first, the Debt Collector. This one is a farming troop and works exactly as a regular goblin with prioritizing resource buildings. The big difference though is that every resource the Debt Collector is getting, he's going to double it. That's right. Because of that, he's working well together with Hog Riders because they can clear the defenses, and then the Debt Collector is going to be sent right behind them so they can collect all of the resources. A big disclaimer though, this is not as easy to pull off, and a lot of times you're just better by using regular armies or just sneaky goblins. But if you can pull it off, you're going to have a ton of resources. Next event troop is going to be the Firecracker. This one pretty much works as a better Super Archer, but even then it's not really event troop worthy. If you want to use it, you should bring a mass Super Yeti in front of that or a mass Root Rider attack. Either way though, I would not recommend you using it. The same for the next event troop, which is going to be the Giant Thrower. This one seems to be a weaker Barbarian Kicker. The Barbarian Kicker was able to pretty much mostly one-shot a defense or two-shot it with another one, and they would always target the defense. This Giant Thrower instead is just going to target anything in front, is going to throw the ball, and it's kind of turning into a tank, which is not really that useful, to be honest. Like, a lot of times you're not really worrying about the walls anyways, and you have enough tanks in your army typically as well. So overall, sadly, not the best event troop either, and I would not recommend using it. It wouldn't make your attack any stronger. The next event troop is going to be the Party Wizard. This is not the main star of your army, but it's going to make any army out there better if it would be using regular wizards. Just replace the regular wizards with your Party Wizard because they're going to deal more damage, and they're the perfect fit for the Ram Rider. The Ram Rider is going to be the star of the show. This one is the broken event troop in this batch, and it's most likely used by many of you. The downside is not as easy to be used as the Broom Witches, for example, or some of the other event troops before, but there's two main use cases for this event troop, which are just out of this world and are incredibly, incredibly strong. The first one is simple. Just add a Royal Champion charge at the beginning, you have a hero dive, and right after you have a Ram Rider dive with the Warden right behind. But let's just take a look at an attack so I can really explain to you how you can utilize this strategy, because it is really powerful. I mean, you're going to smash any base out there with this approach, and you're going to make it look easy. With this, obviously, like with any Hog Rider or ground type army which cannot defend themselves, Clan Cards is always a nice thing to get, either with the Royal Champion charge or with the hero dive later on from the far left side. We're going to create pathing now. We're going to try to cut the base in two pieces, which means if we're clearing out this bottom part of this village, we're going to have two different endings. The left side and the right side, which is connected by the top side of the base, which is then still standing. But with taking down this bottom compartment, we're going to make sure that this right and left side is open, and we can start our troops from over there. Two at the same time. Royal Champion charge, firstly, we have to get that done. If you're wondering when to use the invisibility spells, if you're still new to the Royal Champion charge, make sure that you're deploying the invisibility spell as soon as a 6 is popping up on the last digit of the seconds, which means 16, which means 26, which means 36, 46, and so on. Like, those are the key things where you want to deploy the invisibility spell pretty much as the second is going from a 7 to a 6. This is the go time for you. But we have gotten the value for the Royal Champion charge. Now let's dive with the Siege Machine, the Siege Barracks, the King, Queen, the support troops in from this far left side. You can utilize spells as well for the main push if you want to. Rage, for example, is possible, but you don't really have to. Like, you can just smash through, push through, and then you're still going to be fine. Actually, in this army, you don't even have a rage, so don't be afraid about that. Let your heroes cook, and they're going to be completely fine. Actually, we have a rage in this one. Sorry, I'm getting confused. As you have the hero dive on the far left side, you're going to then push in from the other end of the base with your Ram Riders. They're just going to smash with the base. Spring traps sometimes are pretty much useless because you are having ranged troops, so they're less likely to trigger them. And just use the warden, use the heal whenever you have to. And now you can use the rage for the Ram Riders or for the hero dive. That is really completely fine. Both works. Whatever works best for your approach, pretty much. And the Royal Champ still even has her ability. So you can still use that later on. And this base is completely crushed. So, it's pretty classic. We have the opening of the Royal Champion charge into a hero dive, into a Ram Rider push, and that is the entire magic what you're looking for. But in my opinion, there's an even stronger strategy than this Royal Champion charge approach. But it's a bit harder to pull off, but I will show you anyways if you want to master it for the 1 week duration where those troops are in the game. And this is pretty much the exact same army with the big difference of having no Royal Champion charge. Instead, we are relying on the Flame Flinger because with using the Ram Riders, you can set them up perfectly. So the Flame Flinger is getting a ton of value. We have again the hero part and we have again the Ram Rider part. All of that this time around working together way more closer. But let's just dive into an attack. And another nice thing is you have less likely a time fail because, well, you just set up the Flame Flinger, you have the hero dive, so we're pretty much skipping the Royal Champion charge because this Flame Flinger is going to work all the time as you're having your main push. And if there are ground expos or expos in general or mortars, don't worry. Those Ram Riders pretty much work as rocket loons, for example, because they can just dive in, do their thing, and are completely fine. With that being said, we're going to clear out this bottom compartment, well, not really the compartment, but the outside buildings with the Expo, and as soon as the Expo is gone, the Flame Flinger can take down the bomb tower, can take down the scatter, can take down the merged cannon, and gets a ton of value, and it's going to work along the way as we're having our hero dive, as we're having our Ram Rider push. This is the key thing here. Make sure that the siege is going to get the value. Then, King Queen opening, as I just said, we have the Yeti in there as well if you want to funnel those troops, if we have to funnel them. Otherwise, it's just a nice additional push. Except if you're running into spring traps, then you just have those Yeti mice, which is not the end of the world, but not the greatest either. And my main concept here is to get the Town Hall, then we can start with the Ram Riders from the top side. Because you want to have your heroes and Ram Rider away from the siege machine, so they can, like, work all at the same time pretty much. I'm using the Rage here because I still hope to get the Town Hall. Unfortunately, nothing is really inside the Rage. The Rage is completely wasted. But this is where I wanted to show you this attack. Obviously, I could have tried to get like the perfect attack and not have any mistakes. But I really want to show you this because it perfectly highlights how many things can go wrong. And this strategy is really going to work. The overgrowth is just like a nice backup plan if things are going wrong. If there's too much damage somewhere, just overgrowth it. The Town Hall's on the back end. The Fire Speed has long range. So we're just going to use the overgrowth. The Ram Riders are going through the top side, and they're just so fast. This is like the crazy thing about them. They have such high DPS while still having the 3,000 hit points, and then with the Apprentice Warden right behind, it is scary how strong they are. Now, we had over the entire, more than 1 minute, the Flame Flinger working at the bottom side, took down the entire compartment, Ram Riders are in, and we still have a freeze, even though our hero dive did pretty much get nothing, and we completely messed that up. But this is what I said in the beginning. This is the tricky part about it. You need to control your heroes. And then the strategy is just, it's going to be the best in the game. It is crazy scary how strong this is. You can see what an overkill this is. Even though we had the heroes messing up, or like with the Tesla farm, things was messed up. So yeah, give it a try if you want to. It is the strongest event troop for sure. It's quite broken with the Ram Riders. And going to be everything in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about those event troops. But I feel like it is pretty much the event like of the Ram Rider because the other troops feel like not as strong in this batch. But let me know what you think. And otherwise, I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next Clash video. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.